Right, before we get this press conference started, I'd like to address the members of the media that are here today and say thank you very much for all the years of coverage of the team and of myself, both good and bad. It was very much appreciated. And for some of the Bilbao supporters in the back, I know this is going to be trying times for some of you people, but just stay strong with the club and Alba Athletic. And sitting next to me, Chairman Izagure, working with him for 9 years now. It's been 9 years. It seems like it's been nothing. The time has flown by, and really, they say time flies when you're having fun, and that's exactly what I had here as athletic club manager. It was a lot of fun winning Copa del Rey, winning the La Liga title, and especially the Champions League. But after having sat down with the chairman as well as the board members over the last couple of days, I have expressed my desire and my wishes to move on from the club, and I am officially going to resign as athletic club manager in favor of international management. There are several offers on the table. I've thrown my name out for every single one of them, and as I said to the chairman, it's something that I've always wanted to do. I feel like I've done everything that I could here at Athletic Club, with the only regret being that I didn't get that Europa League title for you guys. But this international management has always been something that I've strived to do, and get a European title, get a World Cup title. And I feel at this point in time, it is only right in my career to achieve those aspirations of managing an international side and trying to win a World Cup. What's up, peoples? It's Gendo here, and welcome to a brand new series called The International Boys, where I'm basically continuing from where I left off on the Basque Boys series, but I'm no longer athletic club manager. As you can see, it doesn't give any indication up here. I have ended my tenure there, 2024, winning the Champions League, etc., etc. So now I want to try and take my success that I had at a club level and see if I can do it on the international stage, whether it's in UEFA, CONCACAF, CONMEBOL, etc., etc., etc. See if I can win, ultimately, the World Cup. And of course, with the reputation that I picked up while at Bilbao, earning all these trophies, and ultimately the Champions League, my reputation has gone up a fair bit. I'm at 3 and a bit a star reputation, which is good, and I feel that right out of the gates, if I try to go after some of the bigger name nations, they're probably going to accept. Now, if I want to make this series last, obviously I want to try and go for a smaller nation first and building my way up. Ultimately, I want to manage the Spanish national team so I can bring in all of my old Bilbao players and get them some Spanish national team play. But obviously, that's not going to be the case right now because unfortunately, the Spanish national team is not available. These are the 6 nations that I can go and apply to at this current point in time: France, Germany, Romania, Russia, Sweden, and Serbia. And as you can see right now, France and Germany, it's 2024. They're still going to have some good players. In fact, let's just take a look at the rosters right now in the main national team. I mean, Antoine Griezmann's still there. Kondogbia, Pogba, Varane, Digne, Laporte, Bilbao player. It's still a pretty stacked lineup, and for the manager to just up and leave is rather strange. Who was the manager up to this point? Claude Poole was the manager for the last 6 years, Didier Deschamps leaving after 2018. So Claude Poole just being sacked, probably because of how poorly they played within the 2024 European Championships. And as you can see, they lost to eventual winners Portugal 2-1 in the quarterfinals. So obviously not a good showing for France. And then conversely, Germany also lost in the quarterfinals of the Euros, losing to Belgium 1-0 in the quarterfinals. And as you can see in the national team, yes, some of these players might not make it all the way up until the World Cup in 2026, much like with France, but you still had Thomas Müller, you got Ter Stegen there, Mario Götze, Timo Horn, Goretzka, Kimmich, Sula. So yeah, 2 big name teams, 2 pretty stacked lineups, and if I applied to either of them, I very well could take over as national team manager of either France or Germany. But Obviously, that would be a little bit of a head start, I should say a lot of a head start, by taking on two big teams with a lot of history on the international scale. Let's take a look at some of the teams that are currently sitting a little lower in not just ranking, but also in national stature. And the first one is Romania. Romania, I believe they were in the Euros as well, and they also got knocked out in the quarterfinals, losing to the Netherlands 1-0 in extra time. So they didn't do too terribly bad. In fact, they beat France within their group. So that's saying something right there. What type of roster do they have right now? And as a word of note, since we're in 2024, basically anybody that is under the age of 25 is going to be a regen. So basically from Anas Hagi, he's probably the lowest that of a real player in this game I can get right now. So Anas Hagi doesn't look too terribly bad. Let's take a look at actually overall value at this point in time. And Andre Ivan doesn't look too terribly bad. Again, for a Romanian player out on the wing, looks to be a decent winger out on that right-hand side. Probably the only one I do know is Alan Toshka, not 22-year-old, a 32-year-old who currently plays at Steaua Bucharest in real life. He's obviously jumped around in game, but in real life plays at Steaua. Outside of that, don't really know anybody on this current Romanian national team. If I did take over Romania, I'd probably bring in the likes of Florin Tănase and Doran Rotariu, a couple of wingers that I know can get the job done and do develop pretty well within the Football Manager game. Going down, Russia, Mother Russia. Let's see how they did within the Euros, and they didn't even make it out of their group. Oh, that's too terribly bad. 1 point in a group of Netherlands, Scotland, Croatia, drawing with Croatia. That's pretty bad. So I could see why the manager got sacked. But overall, let's take a look and see what their national team looks like. And it looks like a lot of youngsters. They did not bring a veteran squad. More than half their players under the age of 23. And just going up the list, Yuri Lodgin is a goalkeeper, 34 years old, currently playing for Zenit. And Mario Fernandez, that's a name I do know. Alexander Golovin, another name I know. Decent players in their own right. At the start of the game, only grow to get better. So they don't look too terribly bad. Like I said, a lot of youth. So it looks like they're trying to build up to the World Cup and beyond, not relying on their veteran players. The last two nations are S nations, Sweden and Serbia. We're going to take a look at Sweden first and see how they did in the Euros. They made it out of the group, lost in the second round, once again to eventual winners in Portugal, 3-0 there. But taking a look at the national team, a very veteran-heavy squad, a lot of players over the age of 30. Albin Ekdal, definitely know him. He currently plays for Udinese, but where does he play in real life? Hamburg. But yeah, I definitely know about Albin Ekdal, a very decent midfielder there. Emil Forsberg, decent winger. Can't go wrong with him. And John Guidetti, main man up top, who is currently trying to be the heir to the Zlatan throne in there in Sweden. He's already got 37 goals and 80 caps. I believe Zlatan in game has about 60, 65, so he very well could reach it, but he's getting up there in age at 32. And then outside of that, Sam Larsson, Victor Lindelof, there we go. I totally forgot Victor Lindelof was Swedish, so definitely would use him to the fullest extent that I could if I took over the Sweden job. And then finally in Serbia, I mean, honestly, Serbia, the first name that comes to mind is Alexander Mitrovic. Okay, maybe it's not the first name that comes to mind, but it's definitely up there in terms of names you'd think of. Luka Jovic, Andrej Zivkovic, there's Mitrovic right there, and Predrag Rajkovic, the goalkeeper, the young wonder kid goalkeeper that starts at Maccabi Tel Aviv. He is on here somewhere, I'm sure. I'm just missing him entirely. There he is. Predrag Rajkovic, currently playing at Burnley. That's a very interesting team because if he develops well, he should not be playing for Burnley. But yeah, it looks like Serbia does have the makings of a squad that could potentially become a decent world power in terms of football, of course. So those are the 6 nations I can go and apply for right now, but taking a look at the insecure jobs, we got Poland, Algeria, and this is the one I'm looking for, Spain. Currently being managed by Unai Emery, and Unai Emery and I do not get along. Unai Emery is my worst personnel. It's my most hated personnel going by my profile page. So if I could ever see him getting out of that Spain job, you could bet your bottom dollar that I'm going to go after it just to try and show him up. But Unai Emery not looking too good in Spain, and like I said, Poland, Algeria, but I cannot go and apply for those jobs right now, but I will apply. All right, so all 6 in this managerials spectacular have been applied for, and now we just play the waiting game and see what comes up. You know, I don't do a lot of international management in the first place, so I don't know if there's any sort of interviews that need to take place if I want to get the job. So it's, I guess we'll find out. 2 days later, 2 more jobs coming up in the form of the Chile national team manager as well as the Brazil under-23s, because it's the year of an Olympic Games. So do I want to go after an under-23s manager job and just take it over for the next 2 months and then get thrown out again? Or do I want to go after Chile and see if I can lead them to, is it not a Copa? It's Copa America. Why am I thinking Libertadores? That's the cup. That's the cup competition, club competition at that. So we're also going to throw our name into the hat for the Chile job, and well, let's continue to see if anything pops up. I mean, so that's 7 teams right now. Still also looking at Poland, at Algeria, at Spain. It'd be great if I could get the Spain job right off the bat, because that's what I'm trying to strive for in this save, is to go after the Spanish job. And already we got 5 job offers right off the bat. Romania, Russia, Sweden, Serbia, and Chile. So basically not France or Germany. I guess my thinking is they're not going to take me right away, if at all, because I just have that 3-star rep. I need to have possibly a 4-star rep to even get those jobs. But right off the bat, I'd say just stay within the UEFA area, because we already know a decent amount of players within Europe. So I'd stay within Europe. So Chile, we're just going to reject that offer right out and take a look at all these teams that are in Europe. Sweden, Serbia. I would say Serbia, to be quite honest with you, just because of the name recognition, the star power. Let's just take a look once again at the national team. Just take a look at the star power that is on this squad. Luka Jovic, Andrej Zivkovic, Srđan Babic, Mitrovic, Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. Oh, I'm going to have so much fun saying these names if I take over Serbia. Predrag Rajkovic. And that's about it. I mean, I don't really know much of anybody else, like Nemanja Gudeli or Marko Dimitrovic. I don't know much about them, but there's at least 4 players on there that you and I know, and that we would have a fun time just trying to manage this team and try to get them somewhere into the World Cup. So you know what I'm going to do? As much as, you know, Sweden and Romania and Russia have all of their little intricacies and all of their players that, you know, they like to tout, I'm going to go with Serbia. We're going to accept the job offer here at Serbia. Everyone else has been nullified out, and we are now going to manage Serbia going forward. So great stuff there, and right out of the gate, Serbia versus Portugal is going to be our first match in the Nations League. So what we're going to do is we will take a little break. I'm going to take a look and see what players are going to be in the national pool, what formation I want to go with, and then next episode we'll get right into it. Serbia versus Portugal. So guys, thanks very much for watching, and yes, this was a bit of a short episode, but it's going to be used as an introduction anyway to the series, and ultimately tell you what my stated goals are, that being, of course, winning the World Cup, first and foremost, and if I could possibly manage the Spanish national team after all, and get some of the old Bilbao players that I used to manage, and bring them into the squad, that would be great as well. And of course, along the way, seeing if I can win continental competitions, whether it's in Europe, whether it's in North, South America, all around the world. We'll just have to wait and see. So guys, thanks very much for watching, and if you enjoyed what you saw, if you're very interested in seeing how this series goes, please go and drop it a like, share, subscribe, and all that fun stuff, if you're new, of course. And if you want to leave a comment below on what you think about this new series, please do so. I appreciate every comment that you guys put down. But anyway, guys, I've been Gendo, and you guys have been awesome. I'll see you next time. Take care, and peace out.